Okay, Abusia, Yabamo Bibia Kwaba, Abusia, Yabekai, 1,300 missing ECG containers are a honsem, a solid bubruja, a Wagana had day in day out, not to say John Jinapor updates or day brayer, and then they are containers in Waha, the Kuhumu 5 for her, Indian man BIC, Abusia, and Damenoka say ECG for a who do press conference. Almost say, Omo at me a retrieve 1,000 ECG containers. Na dia yura edin ka ba bontin na 1,300 benda me no ka say according to ECG no almost me a retrieve 1,000 of them abusua akoye good news ama online na me waste time kan me person ba me akone akoti press conference ni bi na sana be kono dwumedi me show so nya like ya obe like share ma for friends into me and kebi meremasi.
We have started moving our containers from the port. So far, we moved over 1,000 containers. Again, when we met in May, the news was that we couldn't trace a lot of our containers. I'm happy to say that we have traced all our containers and we started moving them from the port. I've already talked about the outages. We have managed to curb outages. We are not saying that we have eliminated outages, but we've worked to curb outages, and we are continuing to put in measures to make sure that we don't go back to what we came to meet. A lot of these issues. Mr. Chairman, I want to say that since then, with the support of our board, the minister, and His Excellency the President, we made a lot of progress. Now Ghanaians said that the President is hurting their eyes with lights. Because he has managed to keep the light on and there is no jokes on. Mr. Chairman, I want to say that it's not only lights that we have kept on. I would like one of my directors give us a small presentation on it. But before he comes, I want to say that ECG has asked for a certain percentage increase in the distribution service charge, not in how much customers will pay us. And so ECG is not asking that customers' tariff should be increased by 220%. Absolutely not. And what we are asking for can even be done without any corresponding increase in the end user tariff. We are.
Can you repeat that? Please capture your Can you replace the mic for us? We need
okay, so let me repeat that. So the current end user tariff, we see a distortion. The distribution service charge, in other words, the component of the tariff that ECG comes to ECG is only right now 12%. And it should be around 40%. So the tariff is heavily distorted against distribution. And we are appealing to the PURC to correct that distortion. So the distribution service charge can't go up without necessarily increasing the end user tariff. But my colleagues will do a presentation on that. We find in our network that have not come through us. They don't measure anything. They are not good meters. So when you put it there, they're there. But ECG cannot read the meters. The meters are not measuring, so we cannot read the consumption, so we cannot pay you. So we have two issues. The first one, we don't have you in our records, so we cannot pay you. The second one is that we cannot even measure the power you are consuming. And unfortunately, most of the facilitators are our friends in Parliament and assemblymen and DCs, and so we are indulging your support so we can curb the issue of illegal meters. A publication that some of my friends in the Country South District, Country South municipality want to demonstrate against us because we are removing illegal meters. It is important for us to remove those meters and replace them with legal meters issued by ECG. Otherwise, our losses will continue to grow. Mr. Chairman,
rallying other labor unions to join you in a demonstration, particularly when are you going on this demonstration?
Well, thank you very much. Let me point to that. I like enthusiasm, and thank you also to the Ghana Coalition Against Pay. I believe everybody now agrees with me that the calls have been loud, the appeals have been loud, but we have not received any response. Anyway, it is not, we are not going on a demonstration. We are a group concerned about what is happening, and we have written a petition to all workers' unions in Ghana, and I believe that maybe after this conversation, we can have a copy of what the petition that we have, so that they can take to that. We have written a petition to all the workers' unions in Ghana, including the QC, the mother union. We have the Ghana Federation of Labor, Ghana Mines Workers Union, Ghana Health Workers Union, Teachers and the Workers Union, Ghana Cultural Union, the Education Workers Union, Teachers Workers Union of Industry, Commerce and Finance, Timber, Woodwork Union, University Teachers Association of Ghana, Technical University Association of Ghana, Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, that we must take an industrial line to compel the government to take action against Galamsey. In other words, we would like all workers' unions to lay down their tools until we see a decisive action against Galamsey.
So,
in other words,
when you talk about the decisive action, you've listed a number of things. I mean, inclusive of the state of emergency. Aside from that, what else are you also seeking government to do about the situation?
If you look at the petition that we have written, we made 15 demands. Number one is the declaration of state of emergency, which has already been said loudly. Revocation of LI 2462. Immediate and complete ban on all small-scale mining activities. Anti-corruption and public accountability. Number 5. Criminal enforcement and asset forfeiture. We talk about ban on importation of excavators and heavy mining equipment. We talk about a ban on mercury and toxic chemicals, environmental grants for fast-track environmental for land, water, restoration, license, audit, and transparency. We talk about food safety and testing. We talk about community protection and livelihoods. And then we talk about independent oversight, and then international cooperation. You agree with me, and it is said, and I quote Professor Frimpong Boateng, that Ghana is the only country in the whole wide world with river bodies without use. I mean, we've reached a level of absurdity. And one wonders, excuse my expression, whether we Ghanaians are really human beings. Because it doesn't make sense. It is so difficult to understand. The calls have been since 2013. Several groups have made calls. If the politicians and our leaders are not listening, what then do we have to do? We have only one tool to lay down our tools. All workers of Ghana. If tomorrow all workers say that we are not going to go to work until we see a decisive action against Galamsey, I believe the government of Ghana will be forced to act. So that is what we are calling for. We are not going to go on demonstration. We are calling on QUC and its members to lay down their tools as workers of this country so that the government of Ghana will take action. And if you see the petition, as I've enumerated, you see all that we are asking for. And exactly that is the kind of tool we can use because there is nothing, the rationalization has been too much.
Right, so Prof,
you've
made this.
And we leave the problem.
Right. So I understand you've reached out to these other labor unions. Have you had any response from them? And exactly when are you waiting to go on this demonstration, at least, for us to see some action?
Well, I have sent an email copy. All the unions that I mentioned, I've not received a response. I was supposed to post the hard copies 2 days ago, but I had an emergency, so I couldn't go it. In fact, I'm on my way to Doma. When I return on Monday, I'll post the hard copies all the labor unions. But as I speak with you, the email copies have reached the labor union, but they have not responded. I find it quite intriguing and quite difficult to believe, but I'm giving them time. I don't know what they may have received. They may have seen it. I'm giving them time up to next week. If I receive any response, I'll let you know. Now, I'm happy that Joy has called and asked about this petition. I believe that Joy and other in Ghana, other media houses will be part of this call for the TUC and its members to call for a strike action against Galamsey in Ghana. So that if it takes 1 month and workers are not going to work and we receive a positive response from the government of Ghana, why not?
Right, thank you.
So that is the call. It is a petition for an industrial action to put pressure on the government to act decisively.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Professor Kwabena Safo-Kantanka, for that. Let me go back to Senor Jose briefly for his comments. And Senor, I mean, you've talked about the lack of political will, but also there's the argument that we have to compel government to take action. You think a demonstration is enough to force government's hand in this situation?
As citizens, our social tools are limited. One of them is definitely social action, which may include a demonstration. I don't think just going and working on the street. I don't think we should do any work. The source of the problem and the answer to the problem is sitting at only one place. His Excellency the President. He's the one with the absolute power. He's the one in whom our boundaries, our land, our natural resources is vested in. So we just go to God in this matter. We should go and sit at Flagstaff House. We should all go and sit there till our Father would wake up and take the action that will save us, including himself and his own children and children's children. We expected an old father of us who was older, who we thought we didn't do not, and he didn't do it. So if a younger father has come, then and he will not do it, then we're almost doomed. We can't wait for 4 years to determine what we want to do about the current situation. We can't wait. will be gone.
So, Senor,
in less than 1 year, my brother, my sister, in 1 year, we have moved from a high turbidity of 14,000 to 94,800. Hey, 80,000 all of a sudden. Prior to that, from 2016, we were at 20 and 30 in that particular place. It took us almost 8 years to get to 14,000. But in 1 year, we have added 80,000. I beg you, the exponential rate at which we are getting this in deteriorating is extremely dire. And we are getting to the point of irreversibility.
So, Senor, we've heard a lot about what you're saying, but now, could you at least put some word to it that we're going to take this action? You talked about going to Flagstaff House, Jubilee House, and sitting there.
I can see the car on the line. We are going to invite the MPs. We are going to invite the Speaker. We are going to invite Labour. We are going to invite the professional bodies, everybody in one coalition. And that will happen maybe sometime next week. Into one meeting. The Islamic community, the Christian community, everybody, let's sit down and we agree on that way forward.
All right. Thank you so much.
We'll give everybody a state of affairs, including the NBC themselves. I've told you, as an NBC, as a party, must defend the cause of the country, irrespective of which government is there. And the same thing with the NPP people. We should come and play politics with this because all of them have failed us.
Right.
So right now, we have to come together as one unit, as one country, as one people. Let's save Ghana for our children and children's children.
Thank you so much, Senor Jose, for your time on our desk, and Senor Jose is convener for the One Ghana movement, speaking on Galamsey. Well, away from that, the World Bank has dismissed the Akuffo government's long-standing claim that Ghana's 2022 economic collapse was driven by the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war. In its latest policy report, the bank states that the crisis stemmed from deep-rooted structural weaknesses, fiscal indiscipline, and mismanagement, with global shocks merely exposing an already fragile economy. Well, these details have been put up in graphics. We'll bring you that later on. But let's also, that is showing on your screen right now. We'll just go through a few of them. And it says that the deterioration of global conditions due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russian Federation invasion of Ukraine was not the cause of the 2022 macroeconomic crisis. Next slide. All right, so we'll do that later, but we have on the line the former Deputy Finance Minister, Dr. Stephen Amoah, on this. Dr. Amoah, we're grateful, and this is what the World Bank is saying now. What's your initial reaction? Let me get that first. Kindly unmute and speak to us.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. My regards to our listeners this very morning. Honestly, I would like to have the entire document and then read it and understand the context being posted out there, because I'll be surprised for two reasons. One, the World Bank, before this report, we had a report there. I need to look for it. I mean, I'm not even going now. That stated clearly that the causes, they never said, and nobody has ever said, what we went through 2022 is solely 100% the COVID. Nobody said that. But the severity and the challenges we went through, nobody on this earth, unless the person, in my opinion, is just displaying ego trips or unconscious incompetence. Because the same World Bank report stated that was one of the major crises we all in this country. Aside that, what were these economic indicators, these primary macro indicators or performances in the other jurisdictions, even in the developed economies? That year, the world economy grew negative 3.3. Inflation rate globally jumped into 100. They're all there, and we depend on these economies. I'm sure the document might have said, apart from that we have structural weaknesses and issues as a country, And that one is a fact. It's not just one regime. When it comes to economic resilience, most developing economies, including Ghana, fundamentally we have challenges because we depend on the economy. We are basically import-driven economy. So these things are there. We talk about an ineffective way, sometimes we manage our expenses as a country. These are issues that occur. I mean, it doesn't matter who is in government, the facts are there. So if the first 3 years of Akuffo's government were growing to 7%, one of the best in the world, inflation rate averagely has stayed about 7%, one of the best in the world. And then we have even picked, GDP growth in the year 2000, about, I think it was 3.4%. And we're rolling out one of the most enviable pro-poor policies sustainably in our country. Who could have thought that after the first term of Akuffo's government, where there was market productivity impairment, people were even asked to stay home, they were paid. We're in this country. Private sector sank over 40,000. We had revenue shortfall of about between 11 and 12 billion. The world itself knew how we're suffering. Things were being brought from outside.
Okay, Abushia, it's just winning some also. Our political highway is such as 1,300 missing ECG containers, and I mean, say ECG for press conference or much say, Omu, etimi, ehumu, 1,000, just say aka 300, no, ubinim, baby, ako, di, Abushia, we name so much as a course, our political highway. So, any news be concerning this matter, Boba, Yedebaba, about the domo. Aha. POG Media, Madam Asi.